Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast. From the Gulf Coast Auto Shield Studios in Houston, Texas, USA, it is the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, more with Careen Piz, the Finnish expert, with our inspection of the 24-year-old Corvette right behind us. Jeff has the cruise in and events calendars, and I'll bring you stories making automotive news headlines this week. You know,
no, Motor Minute.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Wait. Here, wait. Can I start over? Watch this.
Oh, you did.
Turn the page, Don, you moron.
Well, you know, I need to question Careen when she said that she uses, it's never going to work because she said concentrate.
Yeah, concentrate. Remember that from school?
So it's not going to work.
When the little kid, you know, did his thing on your hair, concentrate. Well, it's easier said than done at my age these days.
Wonder what the car count looks like out there.
Well,
it's rolling in.
Yeah, there's still.
I saw a Cadillac. I saw a V-roll.
There's an old Porsche right there, as a
go.
matter of fact. So John's got a connection. This is the Car Social, by the way, here at Gulf Coast Auto Shield. So a lot of people here, a lot of cars here too. Porsches, Lamborghinis, Maseratis. We've got a Shelby Mustang.
There's a Maserati out there in front.
Over there.
Yep.
Got Porsches in here. Got a lineup of Corvettes in here.
Got a Hummer. Not a Hummer. That's a Cybertruck.
Yeah, it's a Cybertruck. Yeah. I may have seen one Hummer on the street so far. That's a $125,000 electric.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
Do you know they sell a electric bike too? With that, you can buy an electric bike with that.
A Hummer bike?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's a Hummer bike, but they offer it. It's like $6,000 for an electric bike.
You're going to get one?
I'm going to get two.
Two. One for you. Okay, we're going to switch over here, David, and we're going to go back over here with Careen.
Well, we got to get Mike going on his rig.
Well, when he gets ready,
okay.
It doesn't make any difference because you can see me.
Well, I'll just do the general shot on that.
All right.
We'll wait for Mike.
So where are we going to pick up, Careen?
Am I on?
Oh, God.
Can you hear me? Oh, there it is. Yes. So we're going to pick up off. Gosh, I can't even talk. Pick up where we left off.
Where was that, Careen? Where we leave off?
We left off. Okay, so during the break, I actually went ahead and prepped this panel. So I went ahead and did the rinseless and then went back through and did the clay bar as well. You're standing in front of the camera, Don.
Yes, he is.
There's a little camera there.
Here's the camera we're doing.
Okay. So what we're using right now is a microfiber pad, and this is just a very generalized one-step pad. This is not a heavy cut pad. This is not a polish pad. It's somewhere in the middle. So it's really good for light marring. This is what.
Where do you buy those?
We actually buy ours off, I believe it's Autoality, but it's a website.
The other thing that I wanted to ask you is the type of motor machinery you've got here, because I had an old one. It was a one-speed.
Yeah.
And it was fast and it was ugly.
Step this way for a second. If you want to take a look, these are the machines that we actually use. Is the Fine Mac up here? That's the machine. So it's produced by Fine Lab. Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Fine Lab, the ceramic coating that we use.
Yes.
They actually use those as well. And then our pads, the actual pads we use, these are some of my absolute favorites. I'll set my buffer down. But this is the one I'm using right now.
Yeah.
So this is your Lake Country. This is a real good single stage for just about anything, unless you have extremely heavy cutting that needs to be done. A lot of heavy scratches or heavy water spots. And then my second stage is I always go down to a foam pad. So that's going to be
What's it called?
It's a foam pad.
Foam pad.
Foam,
yeah.
Yes. So it's a very light density foam meant for finishing.
Yeah.
So that's going to be for your polishing.
Now, once you use this on a car, can you rinse the stuff out and use it again?
Yes. So what I do tend to do is I like to wash them. Some detailers don't like to get their pads wet. I personally do because I like to get all the compound out of there.
Yeah. You put it in the washing machine?
So what I do is I actually take them outside and I power wash them from afar first. So it's actually breaking down any compounds, polishes, stuff like that that's stuck in there. Then I do take them home and I just stick them in the washing machine and run them through a water cycle.
Gotcha.
No detergents. I never use any detergents on my pads because it cross-contaminates things.
Yes.
And then you've got problems with hazing and marring and other things because you used all,
because
fabric
I guess
softener.
These at the professional level like you use, they're kind of expensive.
They really are. And, we go through these things
Like water.
I guess so. There you go.
I have
That's a
a
better
question.
reference than what came to my head.
I have a question, Serene. I have a
only
question.
imagine.
I have a
And you
question.
can see over here, it's like I've got the 3 inches as well. So
I can't.
because we do use between a 6-inch and a 3-inch polisher. This one is actually more close to a cutting foam pad.
Oh, I
So
see.
you can feel the density in
right,
that one versus the density in that one.
Yes, of course.
So this one's more abrasive, so that one's going to take care of scratches, water spots. And I tend to use foam a lot on older vehicles because it's not as
Wait.
aggressively cutting. The microfiber ones, because of the hairs, it's going to cut a lot harder.
I don't like hair.
Yes.
And this whole process, and obviously we're here in your shop doing this, the lighting. You have high-intensity lighting in the shop. Somebody's going to do this outside in regular daylight, or do they need special lighting to see and to pick up all those little imperfections?
Well, first off, I'm going to tell you, is anybody who does this on the weekends, whatever, don't ever do it in direct sunlight.
Okay.
Direct sunlight, obviously, because it heats things up. The hotter a panel gets, the more malleable it is. So you're going to scratch, you're going to mar, you're going to do all kinds of stuff. Don't even wash your car in direct sunlight is my best suggestion. Now, but as for lights themselves, you can see we've got a lot of fluorescent through here. It's hard to see scratches with fluorescent. That's actually why I have my little Milwaukee, and it's just a basic flashlight. That's all it is, because it gives you more of a real daylight look.
Yeah.
So you can see a lot more scratching, hazing with stuff like
Right.
this than you could with an actual fluorescent light.
Perfect. See, David, I told you that.
See, David? You just don't listen, do you? You just don't. You just sit there to look handsome, don't you? All right.
Handsome is in the eye of the beholder, not.
That
Yeah,
it is. That it is. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start doing this panel right here. You don't need a lot of compound.
And you don't ever put it directly on the paint. You just put it on the pad.
Correct. When you put it directly on the paint and then you go to run your pad through it, first thing it's going to do is it's going to sling it all the way down your car, and then you're going to be cleaning up compound for days.
You know what? Hey, can I just tell you a brief history of my compounding days?
Oh, gosh.
When I was working at the Chevrolet dealership.
With a
You know-
rotary and...
Oh, yeah. And so we get a brand new car in, and it had been on a railroad car, and there's all sorts of ugly stuff on it. White in particular.
Oh, yeah.
Really bad.
The rail
Well, yeah,
dust.
and so the car had a nice big ridge right down the middle of it because the hood was so huge. I had to have some support.
Yeah.
Right? I could take that thing and run it right down that ridge and go right down to the base coat, right through that into the primer.
So now it's got a
I can't
perfect
tell
race...
you how many of those white cars went directly to the paint shop after I got done with it.
You know, for some reason, I don't doubt that,
Yeah,
Don.
oh, my God,
But
yeah.
you know what? That's why you have me now.
Thank
That is
God.
why you have me
Yes.
now. Gosh.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
I'm
So I'm going to
standing
go with
back.
about dime size for each one of these. I'm going to do 4 drops.
A little dab will do you.
Just a little dab. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually dab out the compound. So instead of just leaving big globs like that, same thing's going to happen. You run through it, it's going to sling.
Great. Well, let me get out of the way.
Sounds great. So I'm actually, and I dab it out on the panel, to the panel where I intend to actually run it. So see, it's like it's just spreading it enough so you're not leaving globs that you do sling it onto the
I
windshield.
just need it spread just a little bit.
Just a little bit. And now I'm going to start
Sling
my
it.
buffer. These are all in RPM. You've got 1,000, 2,000. I'm going to start my buffer between 2 and 3,000. Somewhere in there is usually about my good starting point. So now this is going to get a little bit loud, so I'm going to have David cut off my...
You're fine.
cut it out there. Now make sure you've got a good grip on it so it doesn't want to yank you around. A lot of times I'm wrapping my entire hand around the top of it.
Don't be yanking.
And you can see I'm not moving super fast. I'm letting...
I would be through that paint in a New York minute if that were
Slow
me.
yanking.
I'm sure you would, Don, because you're not finesseful.
I'm heavy-handed. I'm a man, baby.
Yeah.
I'm a man.
I'm a woman.
So does it depend on whether you're right-handed or left-handed on how you go?
No.
I'm a woman.
You know, this is going to get 1 million views on every kind of social platform there is.
Oh, I'm sure. There'll probably be some great memes made out of it, too. And so we're just going to attack basically this front end of the fender right now, just to not take up the whole day with trying to buff and polish. I'm going to come down about halfway on that scratch. All right. So as you can tell, I'm just staying off of this edge. You don't ever want to get too terribly close to these edges right here. So you want to keep it straight. Don't bend it in, because your paint is always thinner on these edges. So you'll end up like Dawn, and you'll end up with primer showing real quick out of that. We're not going to try to pull a Dawn today and burn Dawn's car, because John jinxed me. He asked me, he said, wouldn't it be great if you burned it on air?
No, it would not.
He jinxed me, and so I'm really trying not to do that today.
Please don't.
So when removing any sort of compounds, stuff like that, I never use microfibers. These are not the way to go. I don't even know the name of them. I just call them fluffies. It's just my fluffy.
So this is different than this?
Correct.
I got lots of these. John gave me a bunch
Never
of
heard
these.
it called
Yeah,
that before.
but when going to wipe off like your polish or compound, you don't want to use those because it's going to lightly scratch it. These ones, because it's got more fibers to it,
I
it
see.
actually pulls the, it basically encapsulates the
Fluffier.
compound and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So,
Ooh, yeah.
and you can see that's just a single step. So like you were asking about that marring that was right along there.
Gone.
Gone. In a matter of seconds, just gone.
Yeah, but how much of the clear coat and everything else is taken off of it?
Probably not much. If I did ceramic coat it before, right now all I'm taking down is the coating. The coating will give you a sacrificial clear coat. So you can kind of see it's a little hazy, and that's because that's just a compound style cut.
Yeah, because you haven't polished it up yet.
Correct. So then once I go back to polish, it'll actually clear it out and give it that deep black lustrous shine.
So the whole car, you've talked me into, I want the car back. How long is it going to take you to do the whole car?
Full car, start to finish. Most of the time I take about a full day for buff and polish, and then a whole nother day to coat it. So you drop it off to me Wednesday, most of the time you can have it back sometime Friday.
How much does something like that cost?
So our pricings, so simple paint correction alone starts at about $800.
Okay.
Because I am a professional, and you pay for a professional level.
And let's not forget the tip.
Exactly, you got a tip.
And you gotta use fluffies.
I do accept beer as tips.
Whoa.
Just so you're aware.
Beer.
Beer. Everyone can know
I
that,
was
right?
thinking wine.
I accept beer as tips and food.
I was thinking wine or champagne.
No.
No.
You don't know me that well, do
No,
you?
no, apparently not.
Am I ladylike?
Very much so.
God, you really don't know me, Dawn. We got problems.
I really didn't know how to answer that, so it was out the top of my head. Yes.
Hey, I'm glad that you want to present me as a lady.
Well, you are.
I'm a female.
You are.
Lady, I don't know.
And we love you. So
I don't know about
that's
all
more
that.
important than anything else.
Yes. But so our base ceramic coating package, so when we do Fine Lab Ultra, starts at $1,300, and we have coatings that go all the way up to $2,500. But the $2,500 one is called Heal Plus. It's a 7-year coating, and it is one of the most durable coatings you will ever come across. But it's one of those that if you're not willing to pay $2,500 and then treat it like you spent that kind of money, it's not worth the
Well,
time.
let me just say this: that I love a nice looking car.
Yeah.
And I know my limitations,
Mm-hmm.
and I am not as skilled as you are by any stretch of the imagination.
We all know that.
And I will tell you that I would rather, if I can afford it, I would rather pay somebody to do it the right way.
Most definitely. Most
And
definitely.
I have to tell you that right after you did the first one, we put the car over at Autorama at Thanksgiving, and we got lots of compliments on the paint. Hey, man, that doesn't look like a factory paint job. I said, well, it is a factory paint job,
Yep.
but my girlfriend over at Gulf Coast Auto Shield had her way with it, and look at it now. But,
Well-
I mean, if I'm going to show the car,
Yeah.
whether I'm going to show the car or not, I'm going to take it on, Hot Rod Tour of Texas coming up in April.
Most
I want it
definitely.
to look good, and when I go, I also want it in the condition that I can use the rinseless car wash
Correct.
on the road.
And that's where the ceramic coats really come in very handy because they're hydrophobic. So So you get caught in a rainstorm, while you're out on a cruise. Most of the time, your coating, the only spot you're ever going to see any dirt is right down here at the bottom side of your fenders or your quarters, right behind your tire. The majority of the water, everything just beads right down the side of it.
Yeah.
Which is so, so nice. And, having that coating, because it does keep it at a hydrophobic level, it's not going to mar, because that stuff's not sticking to the surface. So, like how you can feel the contaminants are just kind of stuck, they're not moving.
Yeah.
With a better ceramic coating, it does not stick. Now yours, we just need to refresh it, and that's the problem right now. That's why it's, feeling the way it is.
What are we going to do in our last segment at the bottom of the hour?
The last segment at the bottom of the hour. I mean, I don't rightly know. You want me to talk about coating? We can talk about the coatings that I got.
We can do that. We'll work on what we're going to talk about.
Well, I am going to throw a polish on this real quick.
Okay, you just go for that, and I'm going to go over here and take a quick break.
Sounds like a good plan.
All right, thank you very much.
Well, I'll be back here shortly.
All right, very nice. Hey, you can catch the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on InWheelTime.com and the Odyssey Radio app. We also video stream our weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider, including SiriusXM now. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
And we hope that you'll support our sponsors, Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex Restaurants, Pro-Am Auto Accessories, and where we are today, Gulf Coast Auto Shield and the Car Social. All right, time now for Jeff's Motor Minute. What do you got today?
I got a Motor Minute. A $46 billion automobile giant eyes Roger Penske's friendship to crush a major roadblock in America, Mike. What is that, you say? German automaker Volkswagen Group is now looking to leverage its ties with Roger Penske. Why? Because they're planning to roll out an ambitious product under their sub-brand called Cupra. Now, the German automobile giant has already invested a lot into North America. The past few years, they created Scout Motors and Cupra to drive further into the markets of the U.S. What is it, you might say? Well, VW's sporty Spanish brand Cupra is reportedly to already be in talks with Penske. In other words, they're trying to get Penske to invest in their EV portion of Volkswagen. So that's what it's all about. So Volkswagen, they're going to introduce the Cupra, which is an electric car. They're very popular in Europe, but they want to introduce them to the American market, so they figured they would leverage Penske to do that.
And the American automakers are spending billions and billions of dollars
To get out of it.
on pretty much.
Yeah.
They've shut down battery plants, and matter of fact, they've canceled a battery plant outside of Detroit.
Right.
That's the latest thing.
Ford pulled one back, yeah.
Billions of dollars.
Built
in
it and
that.
then pulled it back.
Yeah. So
Amazing. So good luck to that.
All right. Time now for this hour's car review. 2025 Subaru Outback.
All right.
This is comes in these trim levels: base, premium, Onyx, limited, and touring. I was looking here on this and to find out where it's built, and it is built in Lafayette, Indiana.
All right.
I did not know that.
Local.
I had the Touring XT model, which is top of the line. This is a small SUV, or what some may refer to as a station wagon. It really is an SUV in the fact that if you want to throw in capability here, it is capable. The only thing that would keep it uncapable are the front and rear overhangs. They're a little bit on the long side in each. So if you're trying to go rock climbing or something like that, you're going to get the, so keep that in mind. No exterior changes from last model year. Exterior kind of looks like Mom's do-all car. Nothing really stands out about it. It's not bad looking. It's nice looking, but it's just
nice.
A Subaru.
Yeah.
Low slung shape is deceiving because it does have the ability to go off-road. Longer front and rear overhangs, as I mentioned in here. Pardon me. Prevent some rock climbing ability, as I said. The sunshade is atop the rear glass. Blackout wheels give it a little attitude. What could use improvement? The oversized roof rack distracts from its sleek design. That's just me talking. The roof rack actually has the bows, if you will, that are collapsible into the roof rack.
Right.
That's why the roof rack's so high.
Yeah. Yep.
Interior highlights. Big infotainment screen is center point of an attractive dash, and functional dash as well. Seating is comfortable with leg room in the second row, which is kind of different because usually in a car this size you don't have much rear seat leg room. This one you do. Apple and Android connectivity. Material selection is great. Nice fit and finish throughout the interior. Cargo trunk room, because it's lower to the ground, loading and unloading from the hatch is a breeze. What I liked about it, I like the comfortable sitting position that you're in, the comfort overall, and the view, especially out the rear and out the rear quarters. What could use improvement? We did not like the multiple menus in the infotainment screen. They kind of go along with what Mazda's got going, and I think that they could go back to the drawing board. 2.4-liter turbocharged flat 4 in it. Turns out 260 horsepower, which is nice, 277 pound-feet of torque. And with the flat 4 in it, it has a lower center of gravity, so going around corners is pretty good. I mean, it's not some Indy sports car or something like that, but it works very well.
Good
CVT transmission, full-time all-wheel drive in this. Mileage, 22 city, 29 highway for a combination of 25. I got 26 miles per gallon over 349 miles. What I liked about it was the mileage on this is pretty good for its capability. What could use improvement? Some noticeable turbo lag. Transmission responds to the throttle. And it's not necessarily a smooth transition. Of course, I'm probably a little bit more aggressive than Mom would be going back and forth to the grocery store, but that's just me. Not trying to make excuses for it, but, my driving style is probably different than yours, or yours, or yours, or yours. Ride and handling was excellent. I don't think anything could use improvement for what this car is. Base trim price, $41,615. Prices tested, $44,325. But remember, this is top of the line. You can get in one of these for $28,895. As far as competitors are concerned, Kia Sorento starts at $33,365. The Toyota Venza is $36,446. The Bronco Sport starts at $29,995. We recommend the Wilderness trim in this particular because it's more off-roady appearance, and it's got a different front trim on it as well. So you might want to consider that, the Wilderness trim. I liked it overall. I'm going to give it a B+. It's a pretty nice little vehicle, especially at the price, and especially the starting price. And that's my review of the 2025 Subaru Outback.
Now, some of the shots we had, obviously it's got a little tow package on it because it was pulling a trailer. Also, the roof rack, it had the Yakima rack on it and a canoe in the beginning. So it's a good hauler. I mean, it seems to be a good camping
It's a
vehicle.
very capable off-roader, and that part of it surprised me. Because once I started looking into it and doing the research on it, it gets really high marks in off-roading ability. Mm-hmm. And you can't say that about every SUV. Just because it's an SUV. That's because it's sitting up higher off the ground, makes it very different. And this particular one sits lower to the ground. It's more car-like, but it works pretty well. Mm-hmm. What are you fooling with over there?
The main camera went out, so Mike's redoing that.
Is he fiddling with it?
No, well, he's fixing it. So we just got a shot of your car.
No, he's not fixing it. He's fiddling with it.
We had it. It was blinking, Mike. Yeah. I noticed when you were doing your review, we had some folks coming back and touching your car to see just how smooth it was. And somebody
like
mentioned
a baby's butt.
I think there was a baby touching it with their butt. It really was over there. So they got
and
butt
somebody
prints
else
on it.
mentioned what?
Just how smooth it is. Yeah, it's smooth.
Yeah, it's factory paint too, by the way.
Like my hair is smooth,
Well, for a 24-year-old car, it's not bad. I don't think. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. Would I like a newer one? Maybe. I'm a member of the C5 Corvette group on Facebook, and they can be really brutal on there. If you put any kind of comment or whatever it is that you ask a question about, there's always the smart ass in there that has got to have some sort of smart, kind of like David, his smart ass comments.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I've learned a lot through that forum. And actually, I posted a question on there just yesterday, as a matter of fact, because as I've told everybody that I'm going to have the harmonic balancer changed. So my question was, am I being over paranoid because of all of the ugly things that I see in this forum about the harmonic balancer? And I haven't looked at it lately to see if there are any responses, but I'm sure that there are.
That's it could be.
I don't want to take the chance. Let me go ahead and spend go ahead and spend the $1,000 because it's mainly labor. It's not the harmonic balancer itself, because you got to take the string rack out of it to get to it. But I think I'm going to go ahead and go through with it. I don't want to be on the hot rod tour of Texas and have the harmonic balancer
clunk.
Yeah, underneath the hood wobbling away because it's fixing to go out. And if it does go out, it can ruin the engine. It'll grind its way right through the front of the crankcase. All right.
So if Mike and I want to switch places, he can get his remote camera so you can finish up your discussion with Serene.
All right.
What do you got going on here? You already done reviews, so you want to take a break, and then we'll go back to that?
I think that Jeff is wanting to produce the show now, apparently. I know. Well, here you go.
Somebody has to.
Because I'm not. All right, we are going to take a quick break. I want you to know that if you'd like to get in touch with us, you can easily shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. We're back after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755.
From the open roads to the open waters, Your adventure starts at the Houston Automotive Show at NRG Center. 1 ticket, 2 shows. Check out top cars, trucks, sport boats, fishing boats, and more. New designs, new technology, and everything in between. Spectacular experiences, amazing fun. There's something for everyone. Get your friends, get your family, and get your tickets now. The Houston Automotive Show, making waves and fueling adventures.
That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.